Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm also Chris.
And together we do a comedy podcast called Cooking with Grief.
Each week we dive into 4 surprising facts about anything from science to history to the weird world we live in, making jokes about all of it as we go along.
You can find us on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And you can also find us on Twitter at Cooking with Grief. No G on cooking.
Glitter, apparently, is so unique that it can be effectively used as forensic evidence.
The Bank of England's chief economist has urged to start using people's Spotify playlist as a way of measuring the economy.
In China, Avengers has been translated as Fulian, or Women's Federation.
Not only did the Russians capture the Crimean Peninsula, they also captured some Ukrainian military dolphins.
In Pinocchio, the film becomes a real boy. In the original, it ends with a cat and a fox hanging him from a tree.
Scientists have wiped a snail's memory.
And Slytherin's going, can we have an extensive series of tunnels sort of wide enough to fit a giant people-killing snake?
Where do you fall on the scone debate?
Scone, obviously.
Oh, I go with scone.
So, what have you got to lose? Give us a try.
Nothing to lose but your sweet, precious time.
Yeah, that's true.
Of the Pete and Fran podcast. How are you, dear?
I'm alright.
Yeah.
I've had a lovely afternoon. Well, day yesterday. Went to Bristol.
Yeah. Gallivanting around Bristol.
Yeah. See the girlfriend.
I sat depressed watching Tottenham lose in the Champions League final while you were doing that.
I did watch half of it at the pub and it was boring, so we left.
It was a boring game and ended in a bitter defeat.
Yeah.
But we must pick ourselves up.
We must.
Because we have important things to discuss.
We do.
We have to discuss Secret Life of Pets 2.
Yes. Which was fantastic.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then we'll discuss Godzilla King of Monsters, which was
shit.
Not so good. And also, I'll be speaking to Brad Pitt. I met him this week, and we had a little...
Why wasn't I invited?
Because he said you'd be weird.
No, it's because he's too old now, yeah.
Yeah, so you would have said something like that and put your foot in it.
Oh, right.
But it didn't go all that well anyway, but we'll hear that later.
Okay, you didn't kill him, did you?
No, I never kill anyone in my interviews. But we also, more importantly, we have to get the time phone out.
All right, yes.
So...
who are we talking to?
Today we will be talking to the first American in space, Edward H. White, the second. He was the second Edward H. White.
Oh.
Yes.
What happened to
the first one? Neil Armstrong. He was not the first American in space. He was the first man on the moon.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
He was one of the first Americans in space, but he was not the first. The first was Edward H. White, who took a 20-minute spacewalk in 1965. On this very day, the 2nd of June. So, let's fire up the time frame. Hello? Hello? Is that Edward H. White, the second?
Yes, it is. I'm very busy right now. Is this Houston?
No, sir. It's Pete and Fran. We do a podcast.
Hello.
I don't know what that is, but I've got time. I'm just up in space on Gemini 4.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, we'll ask you some questions about that.
Okay, if you don't mind. What's it like on Gemini 4?
It's okay. It's very cramped, and it's quite boring. I mean, once you've seen space, you've seen it all, really. But I'm getting by. I tell you what, it would be a lot better with a nice cold Pepsi.
Full fat or diet?
A diet? No, this is 1965. All Pepsi has much sugar.
Oh, right.
And it's delicious. And cold. Ooh.
With all the bubbles, it would come out the can, wouldn't it? Because there's no gravity.
Well, that's why I don't have any.
Oh.
But when I get home, I'll be drinking a delicious glass of Pepsi.
Okay, then. So, what's it... what was walking in space like?
Well, it was relaxing, beautiful, peaceful. Like spraying yourself with Gillette body spray, or eating a delicious tin of Campbell's tomato soup. I would very much like to return to space, walk around, but mainly I'd like to come back to Earth and spray myself with Gillette body spray or have
Just
a
Gillette?
delicious can of Campbell's tomato soup. What was that, sorry?
Just Gillette, or about maybe a bit of Lynx?
I don't think I've heard of Lynx. I will be
Oh.
using Gillette body spray for men.
How easy is it to control the spacecraft?
Well, it's extremely difficult. It requires many, many years of precision training. I, of course, was a great pilot before I became an astronaut. I mean, it's very difficult to control Gemini 4. Unlike the smooth and reliable drive of the new Cadillac 65 Coupe, which comes with 0% credit on your first year and a radio fitted as standard. Boy, I'd sure like one of those.
That sounds very nice. What colour would you get?
I would get fiery red
Red, eh?
for danger.
Are you looking forward to coming home then?
I am. I can't wait to come home and kiss my wife,
Ah.
my children, and I want to enjoy 50% off Salisbury steak TV dinners from my local A&P supermarket. They're great value and they taste amazing. Get your wife to buy one today and you'll be as strong as an astronaut.
Oh, right. Do they come, do you get a coupon for them?
If you read the Washington Post, you will get 50% off Salisbury steak. The Washington Post, the voice of America.
Lovely.
Do you have any more questions for me?
No.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Must get back to the controls of Gemini 4. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
Alright, thanks very much, Robert. It was very... Robert? I do apologise. Very sorry, Edward. And good luck with the rest of Gemini 4, and I hope all of your other endeavours are as successful as this one.
Well, thank you. And don't forget to buy Gillette body spray, Campbell's tomato soup, Cadillac 65 coupes, and visit A&P supermarkets.
Alright, thanks, Edward. Bye.
Goodbye.
Well,
Oh, he was very
he was... It seemed a bit like...
advertising.
Yeah, it sounded a bit like he was trying to plug some products. You
Yeah.
think he just had other things on his mind.
Yeah, what's
Controlling
he trying to
Gemini
do?
4.
Prepare for the future.
Well, I suppose once you've come back from space, and
There's
if
not
you,
much
don't,
to
if you
do.
don't get to go back, there's a lot of products to endorse, money to be made.
Yeah.
Everyone's got rents and mortgages to pay.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's got a few kids, so maybe some school fees to pay.
Yeah. Well, he will have a lot of kids because he's covered in Gillette body spray.
Gillette body spray.
Yeah, he's going to smell good.
Do you know what I read at work the other day?
What's that?
There was an article in the local Metro newspaper
Mm-hmm.
that said that some young boy who was in hospital,
Mm-hmm.
apparently the nurses told his mum to bring in his favourite body spray / shower gel or whatever,
Yeah.
and she sprayed it on him and he woke up apparently from his coma.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say she sprayed it on him and all the nurses fucked him.
No.
No?
No.
Well, those,
Apparently, and
those
then,
adverts not true, then.
and then I got asked at work, can I bring in some spray for my mum because she's obviously in a coma, and I said yes if you'd like to, and she went, "Well, I'm hoping she's gonna wake up like that young boy." I was
Well,
like, "Oh God,
It's not likely, but you never know.
you never know."
Yeah. Well, you've had a busy week.
I
but
have.
You also went to see The Secret Life of Pets too.
Yes,
So you clearly found some time for
I did.
sitting around on your keister.
I did. I had a very busy week,
Yeah.
but I still found some time to go and see it because I wanted to see it because I thought the first one was very good.
Yeah. So it's the same director, Chris
Yeah.
Renard, who also did the Minions film and
Yeah.
The Despicable Me.
I did not know that, but thank you.
So he's obviously very talented animation director because Minions and Despicable Me were
Yeah.
all brilliant. I've not seen Secret Life of Pets.
No.
Or Secret Life of Pets 2. But
I think
enjoyed-
you should watch
I
them.
will now because I didn't know it was the same director. So
Yeah.
I will very much be watching them. Yeah.
I just think, the way he does it, he's obviously very good at what he does, but it's like it's like what cats and dogs really do in real life.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole point of it.
Well, we'll dive into it.
Okay.
It's 71% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's very good.
94% audience, certified fresh, so it must be good. Because everyone knows Rotten Tomatoes is never wrong. So what happens in the movie?
So obviously, in the first movie, it's just about Secret Life of Pets. But in this one, it was about them having to save a tiger who was being held under going to go to a zoo or a circus. No, a circus it was.
Okay.
And being made to do all these tricks and stuff. But yeah, and it's also, well, that's one of the stories. But then the other story is obviously the dog, Max. His family is growing, and obviously his partner, obviously his owner gets married, and they have a baby, and then it's how he is so worried about the baby all the time, hurting himself, and they take him to a farm. And this other dog teaches him to let go, that you have to make mistakes in order to grow.
So, a bit like Toy Story 2.
Yeah, and that's how he develops like this nervous itch. And obviously they worried about him, so they take him to the vet, and that was the most funny scene I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. So you enjoyed it then?
I did.
Good.
My favourite scene. When are we doing?
Was it as good as the first one?
Oh yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
Better or as good?
I would say as good. Yeah. More of a story, more of a family themed, good outcome story. This one than the first one was obviously just about him meeting her, his owner. But yeah, it was really good.
So they're like a gang of pets now. They're all living in the same apartment.
No, they all live in different apartments in the same block.
How do they interact?
Well, they all climb through each other's windows.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you just leave the window open randomly, but never mind.
I suppose if you live really high up, then you could.
Yeah, well they do. They live really high up in this flats.
So I take it they go down the fire escape.
Yeah, and they jump in and out of each other's windows. And go and see each other during the day while their owners are all at work.
I suppose you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit when we're talking
Yeah, of course
film.
you do.
So, who was your favourite character?
I would say... Oh, what was the little dog called?
Is that Snowball?
Snowball. No, Snowball's the bunny.
Right. Well, Max.
No, Max is the dog.
Okay, I thought you said you liked the little dog.
Yeah, I do, but not him.
Was it a female dog?
Oh, was it Daisy? I think it's Daisy. She's like this little Pyrenees white dog thing.
Yeah, it's Tiffany Haddish. She's done loads of voiceover work before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in loads of these things.
And yeah, I really like her, the little white dog. I think she's like a Pyrenees sort of type dog. And she has to go and rescue this toy that Max has given her to look after while he goes away with his family. And she drops it because she fell asleep, and it lands in this apartment with an old lady with 150 cats, and they're all off their face.
That's what, on catnip?
No catnip around. They're just really mad. Evil, mad cats.
Oh, evil cats.
And there's this big fat cat that obviously is holding this little chew toy, and she has to go in and obviously get it. So she asked the other pet, cat, that's one of their friends, to teach her how to be a cat.
Okay. It's excellent description.
So she gets taught how to be a cat.
So they're teaching a dog to be a cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
To go and get this toy that she dropped. And now the cats have got it under siege.
That does sound good.
It is good. But my favourite part was when... So cats, I don't know if many people know, cats like playing with a laser beam, don't they? And they're obsessed, aren't they? And obviously she goes into this apartment with all these cats and manages to wangle her way up inside, but then they realise she's a dog.
Right.
Do they realise she's a dog? No, they don't realise she's a dog. And she ends up catching the red dot on the laser beam and swallowing it. Well, she made like she swallowed it. And then they all worship her, and then she rules them.
I see.
Even though she's a dog, so it was quite funny.
I think I want to get you to describe a movie every week.
And why? That wasn't that bad.
It's a bit... That's brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Wait, it's not finished yet.
Was it as good as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Oh, did I? It was really good.
Yeah?
I would say maybe 70% as good.
Almost as good as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, but Robin Hood is 100%.
Yeah, well, that puts it on a very high level now.
I think I would have to include it in one of my top 20
My God.
and get rid of something.
Oh, I definitely have to see this.
Yeah, it is really good, and it's for all the family.
So, no point asking if you'd recommend it, but who would you recommend it to?
Kids,
Yeah,
families.
it's a family movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Disney. Is it Disney?
Disney
Pixar?
Yes.
Yeah, might be. Who knows?
I think it might be Disney Pixar.
Whoever makes the Minions film.
I think it's Illumination.
Yeah, I think that's like Universal.
Because I
isn't it?
remember, obviously, at the beginning of a film, they obviously say who's not producing it, but who endorsed it. But Illumination definitely came up because the Minions were there.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a different studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney don't own the Minions. Otherwise, we'd never get them out.
Yeah.
They'd be fucking everywhere, like Star Wars. Okay. So, this week...
I'm not done yet. Oh, man, I am.
Bloody hell. Yes, you are.
But it was really good at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Rooster, who's like the older
It's
dog
Harrison Ford, yeah.
on the farm,
Mm-hmm.
he teaches this Max to let go, and it was really good. Heart moment there.
All right.
Got you right in the chest.
That's a stamp of approval for Secret Life of Pets 2.
Yeah.
Certified fresh by Fran and Rotten Tomatoes. So everyone's been very excited about the trailer for the new Tarantino film, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Have I seen it?
Manson Family. You haven't seen the film because it's only a trailer.
No, I know, but I don't know if I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, it was on at the cinema last time we were there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I thought I'd go and have a chat with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so luckily he was in town.
How old is he now?
Old.
No, he's not.
Old and frail.
Well, he
a-
must be like 60.
I don't know.
Is he like
Don't
58?
ask him. It's rude to ask someone their age. Anyway, let's hear that interview.
Okay.
Brad Pitt, wow, one of the biggest stars we've talked to so far on the podcast. So the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is hit, and the film looks amazing. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me on the podcast here. It's just amazing to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
So before we talk about the film, let's scotch some rumours. I heard that you shot Gary Oldman by accident when you were out hunting for poor people on your estate.
Like, Gary Oldman takes a bullet better than anyone you've ever seen.
So, has your mum seen this new film? Because, it's quite sort of risque, a lot of sex, a lot of violence. What did she say when she saw, like, a rough cut of the film?
She goes, have you ever thought about acting classes?
Well, that's quite rude. I mean, she must be proud of you. You're a really good actor. And you're a very handsome man as well, if you don't mind me saying. Is it okay if we discuss your sex life? Do you ever cry after sex?
I'll tear up every now and then, but not much for crier.
What's your masturbation setup? When was the last time you had a wank?
I was stuck in this hotel room with no windows, oddly enough, and just doing what you do.
Was your wife okay with you just like hiring a hotel room just to masturbate in? Was she upset?
Not that I recall. No, not that I recall, oddly enough. I think she was fine with it.
You've adopted a lot of kids. Is that because you've never had sex with Angelina Jolie? Because she can only be sexually turned on by her own reflection.
Never happened, to my recollection.
So you've never slept together. That's amazing. Can I take a naked photo of you for my wife?
No, I think that would be inappropriate.
All right, okay, let's move on. Can you help me solve this riddle? Because you're a smart guy. So the riddle is, there was a man who was born before his father, killed his mother, and married his sister. Yet there was nothing wrong with what he had done. Why?
Huh. Yes, I understand the conundrum of it all.
It's a puzzler, isn't it? I thought you could help. Obviously not. That riddle just sounds like something that would happen to the average Trump voting family. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, come on, there's no way that offended you. Even if it did, was that any reason to throw my goldfish bowl on the floor?
Don't recall doing that.
You did, though, you cruel bastard. Look, it's all over the floor. Poor little Goldie's dead. I won him at a fair like 10 years ago. He survived ages. And he's changed colour a few times too. Fran says he's magic. Now he's dead. Why would you throw his bowl on the floor like that? What did he ever do to you?
I thought it was a bowling ball.
Well, it's not a bowling ball, so get fucked. Go on, get out of my ass.
Well, that was the interview with Brad. As I said, it didn't go very well.
No. Where is Goldie?
Goldie is in heaven. Fish heaven.
Alright.
This is what happens when we have to bring the celebrities into the house.
I'll be sending Brad Pitt a bill.
Yeah, I want a new goldfish. So, yeah, some revelations about his life, you know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to dig a little deeper into the kind of man that he is.
I'm glad you didn't take a naked picture of him.
No?
No.
Why not?
Be all old and shriveled.
Sure, he looks after himself still. Well, as exciting as meeting Brad Pitt was, I spent most of the week in absolute, edge of my seat excitement to see Godzilla King of Monsters.
Yep.
It was a bit of a letdown.
It was.
Yes. So, it's not doing great on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 40% score, which I would say is fair.
Very fair.
I would give it about a 4 out of 10. Maybe a 5 if I was feeling generous. It moves on from the original Godzilla. Well, not the original, but, the 2014 Godzilla.
Yeah.
And we now see that there's all these giant creatures buried under the ground.
I thought that the 2014 one was very good, though.
It was okay. It had a distinct lack of Godzilla.
Well, that was the whole point, though. Suspense, isn't it?
But the thing about a Godzilla movie is that you go for Godzilla.
Yeah.
Not for all this other shit, which ruins this
I
film.
did like Godzilla in this movie we recently watched, King of Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the concept was alright. I just thought the acting was shit.
Yeah. So the basic story is, they need to use a device to help make Godzilla help them fight all these other massive creatures that some lunatic played by Charles Dance is letting out from their captivity.
Yeah.
And they succeed in that. Spoilers. Obviously, Godzilla wins the day and becomes King of Monsters. And he gets to fight all the old classic Godzilla enemies like Mothra and... Well, he doesn't actually fight Mothra. Mothra helps him. But he fights Rodan and all the others. And, the whole time, he's accompanied by a cast of really annoying, boring characters. And so what did you think? I mean, you kind of touched on it. In general, what were your thoughts?
I thought Godzilla as, obviously Godzilla. I really like him as the Godzilla character. However, did they need to be 35 other creatures?
It did get a bit overloaded.
Yeah,
definitely.
they could have just been 5?
Yeah. Well, it's like when they all get out at the end. It's like there's the guy in the control room talking to the people on their airship thing. So there's monsters attacking every part of the world. It's changing the weather. It's this is apocalypse level kind of stuff.
Yeah,
just getting Godzilla to beat one of them isn't going to save.
Yeah.
The world's already fucked.
And that was the other thing I didn't get. At the end, obviously Godzilla's there with all these other creatures. What's he going to do? Oh, so now you all go back to sleep. Off you go.
Well, he's the alpha, so they have to do what he directs.
Yeah, but they still have to put them somewhere. Where are they going to put them?
Back in their holes.
Or make them all go to sleep?
Well, in this universe that it takes place in, the Earth is hollow, so they can just go down into the hollows.
Yeah.
Because that's where they live normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that didn't really make sense.
I'm just I didn't like the 2014 one that much because there's not a lot of monster action in it, and it fucking focuses on kick-ass.
Yeah.
Basically, looking for his wife a lot of the time and things like that. I'm I've got to save this one child. I'm sick of people thinking the only way I'm going to care about these giant monsters or
if there's a
space
child involved.
It's if there's one child in danger, we're not idiots. If you watch a city getting destroyed, you're going to go, oh my god, all the people in the city are getting killed, and there's the jeopardy there. Like, all you need is one character to go, oh my god, all these millions of people in the city are in danger. I hope Godzilla comes and saves the day.
Saves the day. Like, come on.
And then just have one scene where Godzilla fights another monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the bit where he does fight the three-headed dragon, spoiler by the way, I thought it was very good, but I did think he did win very quickly.
Yeah, but that's more a budgetary thing. Same as, like, it always annoys me when all these CGI fights will take place in a snowstorm or an ash storm or the rain. Like, they have to, because otherwise they won't look very good. If they take place in broad daylight, it looks bad because it's CGI and it looks fake. So, like, I can look past that. And the monster fights, when you get to see them, are really good. And
they are very good.
They're, like, visually very spectacular.
I liked it when the moth stabbed that other creature.
Yeah, the evil pterodactyl, Rodan, Mothra against Rodan, and then
So is the moth bad then?
Technically, even in like the old Godzilla movies where it's a man in a suit, Mothra like starts bad and then kind of teams up with him. Mothra's queen of the monsters, he's king of the monsters.
Oh, right, okay.
And like Rodan and Gomira and all the others are like the bad monsters they have to fight. But I mean, everyone always shits on the 1998 Godzilla, the one by Roland Emmerich with Matthew Broderick in it.
Have we seen that one?
You must have seen 1998 Godzilla, surely.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I've probably got it somewhere.
Yeah.
I like
you can go in the bag of wonders.
It's just like... It's sort of, I can't remember if it came before or after Independence Day, but same director, and it follows the same kind of plot structure.
Yeah.
Where these are human characters there to kind of get you into the story. Otherwise, it's just a big monster destroying a city or an alien spacecraft blowing everything up. You've got to have some human characters to follow about. Otherwise, it's not really a film.
No.
But I think Roland Emmerich does it better than the director of this film, which is obviously Kyle... No, it's not. Michael Dougherty, who is a great director. He's done Krampus, but he's more of a writer. And he wrote... It's quite telling he wrote X-Men Apocalypse, because I was reminded of that quite a lot watching this.
Oh, really?
Shit getting thrown at the screen constantly.
Oh. I mean... Yeah, it was all right.
I think the human characters in it took up too much of the time. All the characters in 1998 Godzilla are trying to do. Like, there's like the main guys. There's a journalist who wants to tell the story. There's Matthew Broderick, who's a scientist who's trying to find a way to stop Godzilla. And then there's the military, who are obviously trying to kill Godzilla, because that's their job.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, and then there's like the mayor who wants to like spin it to look good. And that's pretty much all that's going on.
That's all you need.
Yeah, because there's a reason for them to be in the city, to be around all the excitement of Godzilla. And and when the military are fighting Godzilla in the 1998 one, all the main characters are in a tent watching it on monitors.
Yeah.
Which is where they need to be. They don't need to be in the middle of it.
No.
Because what the fuck are they going to do against Godzilla?
Although, like, obviously, the young girl, what's her name? Millie Bobby Brown, is it? She obviously takes this device that speaks to all these creatures, and she tries to get them all in one place, I think. So that Godzilla knows where to get them.
But at the end they say all they've got to do is play it out of the speakers at Fenway Park baseball ground, and that will attract every one of the big monsters on Earth to come back to one place so Godzilla can fight them all. Or become their king. Though,
I'd pick the Amazon. Or I'd pick the desert.
They've got this,
so they'd cause less...
Well, yeah, and they've got this magical, massive giant aeroplane that they're in constantly. Are you trying to tell me that they haven't got the technology in there to rig up some speakers?
I know.
Or as loud as Fenway Park? There's a million places you could get a load of speakers.
They could use one of the normal speakers, like a sound bar.
Yeah.
That would give enough.
Yeah, Fenway Park's public address system is probably quite good, but it
It's not as good as just using a
you
sound bar.
could fly it anywhere that has any kind of large sound system. Literally any stadium in the world's probably got the same sort of PA system as Fenway Park.
Probably better to pick somewhere
That's deserted, maybe.
Yeah, like a desert.
Yeah, I'm sure the military as well could have rigged up some big speakers somewhere.
Oh yeah, of course they could have.
Yeah, but you need an excuse for bloody Millie Bobby Brown to be in the middle of Boston while Godzilla's fighting.
Why does she need to be in the middle of Boston?
Because then all the human characters will be there to get hit by falling debris.
They deserve to die because they're idiots.
And yeah, the script is bad. The dialogue's bad. I was laughing out loud at parts of it.
I still don't get where his son died. Like, what was the whole like?
Well, yeah, they're all upset. Kyle Chandler's character, the guy from Super 8 and Argo, and First Man, and a load of other stuff. He's the kind of a leading man you can get for not very much money.
Yeah.
He's a bit like, was it James Marsden?
He reminds me of Kevin Costner in that film where they make like a baseball pitch or something, and that's how boring he is.
He is a very boring character. But then, so's his wife, so's Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Ken Watanabe, who's been in loads of stuff. He's quite good. Charles Dance is good, but he's given very little to do. He's just
what? Bad Man?
Yeah, I just free the monsters to restore balance.
Yeah. Who was the other chap you were talking about?
Ken Watanabe.
What does he do?
Japanese chap. He's been in loads of things.
Oh, yeah. I like him.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He's in like Last Samurai,
Yeah.
Inception. Yeah, pops up in all sorts of things. Basically, whenever they need a middle-aged Japanese man.
His character was the only one who actually did anything.
Yeah, who had a bit of an arc or anything like that. Yeah.
And he got to touch Godzilla
And
before he died.
It pissed me off how much Kyle Chandler's character is like. He's a wildlife photographer as his job, and suddenly he knows how to fix like aircraft and magical devices.
I know.
Well, he said he built this the Orca, the device.
Yeah.
Like this MacGuffin plot device machine that they need to move. Without that, there'd be no reason for any of them to go to any of these places where the monsters are. So that's its entire use, is to get the characters to move around. But yeah, like apparently he built that, but then now he's a wildlife photographer.
Maybe he's just doing it as a sideline.
Maybe
Less stressful, innit?
Well, yeah, and they're upset because their son died in the first Godzilla attack, which he blames Godzilla for, even though Godzilla was in the city to fight the other two monsters that were trying to breed and take over the world. So really, it's not Godzilla's fault his son died in the first place.
His son shouldn't have been there.
Well, that's where they lived.
No.
Yeah, got to live somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, although, again, Godzilla comes after those two monsters were already in the city for ages.
Yeah.
So maybe when the first two monsters attacked the city, you should have left.
Yeah.
Got in your car and tried to escape, maybe. Yeah.
Poor.
Poor fathering. So yeah, that's the movie. I did not think it was good. It was not as good as the 2014 Godzilla, even though there was not enough Godzilla in that.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that one much either. You've not seen the 1998 Godzilla? Or
I
if
think
you have,
I have.
You can't remember?
I can't remember.
It is not as good as 1998 Godzilla. 2014 Godzilla is mildly better than 1998 Godzilla because it has got a better cast. Bryan Cranston's in it. And the story is more linear and makes more sense. Whereas this one, at times, is a bit fucking mental.
Well, it's a bit
especially at the end.
far-fetched.
Well, it's all far-fetched, isn't it?
Yeah.
Godzilla is a giant lizard that runs on radiation.
Yeah, but I like him.
Yeah, I love Godzilla. That's why I was really excited to see it. And I was like, yes, all the other Godzilla enemies. And then next year we're getting Godzilla versus Kong. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I like both of them though. So
Yeah,
why do they have to make each other fight each other?
Because there was already a King Kong versus Godzilla movie in the past.
All right.
I've got it on DVD. It's great. I might put it in the bag of wonders.
Okay.
It was not as good as Robin Hood, Prince of
no.
Thieves. What was your favourite part?
Probably where I thought for a minute that the dragon had won and had turned itself into a Godzilla / dragon
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
But actually, Godzilla had eaten him.
Yeah.
And he was...
when I saw that head come up, I was like, fucking hell, why won't this thing just die? Get a bit of fatigue at that point, didn't you? I didn't have a specific favourite part, but all the monster fights were visually very good.
Very good, weren't
and
they?
They were exciting. They were well shot. It did annoy me they just keep cutting away from the monsters fighting to show us these boring characters who are always way too close to the monster fights. They never immediately move away from the giant monsters fighting. Like, even when they're flying, like in their massive aeroplane thing.
Just get away.
It's like, don't fly right at the monster.
God.
Yeah, dumbasses.
Silly people.
I'd say Ken Watanabe's character, or Charles Dance, was my favourite character. The main characters are very bad, really. Yeah. Oh, well.
I feel bad for not Super 8 girl.
Stranger
Number
Things
11.
girl.
Yeah, I feel sorry for her because
Yeah, it's a shame she didn't get. I don't think she's good in Stranger Things. I feel bad taking the piss out of a child, but
that's her character.
Yeah, but what she's given to do in Stranger Things is to be this like really quiet and reserved and like sort of scared little girl.
Yeah.
In this film, that wasn't her character. She's like this feisty.
Yeah, but she played that.
She didn't play it well.
She's a child.
Just don't have kids in films. No one's pleased to see a child in a film.
Don't be so mean.
The child actors are always bad. Apart from Macaulay Culkin. He's like the only one that's good.
What about Harry Potter? They're all good.
Yeah, all right. They got better as they got older.
Yeah.
Anyway. Are you excited for Godzilla vs. Kong?
I don't know.
I'm less excited because apparently Kyle Chandler's in the next one as well.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Maybe he signed a contract to do
think-
every single
which
film
means-
till he's
yeah,
100.
I'm guessing Millie Bobby Brown's back as well. Their mum died. I can't even remember now. The mum character died, didn't she?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So God, I'm gonna have to watch those two try and act against.
Did she die?
I think the mum did die. She sacrificed herself at the end, didn't she?
She didn't have to, though.
No, because Godzilla had that shit taken care of.
Yeah, she could have
Yeah.
just.
The only
left.
person who had to sacrifice themselves was Ken Watanabe because he
But
had to
his
revive Godzilla.
was very.
Yeah,
He
'cause-
was.
especially he was in the first film. He was the one that like released the first Titans in the 2014 movie. So yeah, it's a good arc. He created this problem. Now he's going to end it
Yeah.
by bringing Godzilla back to fight all the
Yeah.
other monsters. So yeah, I enjoyed that bit, and he's a really good actor.
I like Godzilla supercharged.
Yeah,
Like a
superpowered
Duracell bunny.
Godzilla was amazing. yeah, like the end fight. All the fights are great.
Yeah. It's just the people.
Would you recommend it?
I would say if you are a super, super, super fan of Godzilla, then you'll see the good parts and ignore the shit.
Yeah,
But if you're like gonna watch this first time, I wouldn't bother.
definitely. Yeah, I'd recommend it to people like me that really like Godzilla, and I would not recommend it to anybody else.
Yeah.
If you've only got a passing interest and you're like, oh, I might go to the cinema, don't go to the cinema. Just stream it, maybe.
Wait for it on Now TV or Netflix.
I mean, it's going to
or
be less
something.
impressive not on a big screen, but would I justify paying like £13 for a cinema ticket to see Godzilla
It's
King
a good
of
job
Monsters?
we didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, no. Well, I would have paid.
But you would have been very annoyed.
I would have been a little bit disappointed, exactly like I was when I did pay to see 2014 Godzilla, which was a letdown as well.
Yeah.
But you can't have everything in life. And no, mine next week, X-Men Dark Phoenix comes out, so there'll be something else to be disappointed about.
I don't know. It might be good.
It might be, but I've not heard good things so far.
Okay.
So next week, even though we'll be recording it tomorrow, will be our episode
Don't
where
tell
we
people
do
that.
a random dive into a
Because
bag.
we're busy on the
We're
weekend.
very busy, yeah. So we're doing a random bag of diving into a random bag of DVDs, which
Yeah.
will be fun. We're drinking heavily. The week after was
Very
supposed to
heavily.
be our Ghost versus Roadhouse episode, but we're going to postpone that to do an episode on Dark Phoenix, which will be very exciting for us. And we'll have time phones and
Maybe we should
celebrity
just
interviews.
record that Ghost versus Roadhouse in case Dark Phoenix is really shit.
Oh, I like it when it's shit because there's something to talk about. Last week.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah. When we do Aladdin and Rocket Man last week, we're like, yeah, they're alright. Nothing to talk about. There'll be another episode of Get Rich or Die Cleaning up on Wednesday.
I might
Huge
join you
thanks
for that
to all the
one.
listeners who have been listening to that. It's been doing very well indeed. And if you listen to us on Podcoin, you can earn reward points that will work towards a voucher, a lovely gift voucher. You get paid to listen to all our podcasts.
I have started listening on Podcoin.
Yes, you should
to one of
listen
my
to
favourite
us
podcasts.
on Podcoin instead of any of your other podcast apps.
Are we allowed to tell them what we listen to?
You can listen to whatever you like.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I would recommend listening to the podcast My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
It is very funny.
Yeah. And yes, you can get in touch with us on Twitter at Pete and Fran Pod, on Instagram at Pete and Fran Pod, and you can email me at petelanghout30@gmail.com. Langhout is spelt Lang.
HELT.
Yes, it is. All right. Well,
Thank
big
you.
thank you to big thank you to all our listeners. We've had a very good May.
We
More
have.
listeners than the month before.
More than I thought we would ever get.
Yes, so we are very grateful. Please keep listening.
We
Don't
are.
forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and tell all your friends about the Pete and Pat Fran podcast. All right, goodbye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye.